Commander Jake Harrison sat in the control room of the Earth Defense Station when the alarm sounded. The red lights flashed across the dark walls, and every officer moved fast. Jake stood up from his chair and walked to the main screen. The signal was coming from Kepler 442b, a human colony on the edge of known space. He had been to that planet once, 5 years ago. Good people lived there. Families. Children. Now the distress call said they were under attack. Jake pressed the communication button. His voice was steady, but his hands were tight. Get me everything on that colony right now. Who is attacking them? The communications officer, a woman named Kelly, typed fast on her keyboard. Her face was pale. She turned to look at Jake. Commander, it is the Xifax. The message came through 15 minutes ago. The colony is being hit hard. Jake closed his eyes for a moment. The Xifax. He had heard the name many times in recent months. They were not like other alien species that humans had met before. The Xifax were different. They were strong, cruel, and they took what they wanted. Reports said they had destroyed 3 other colonies of a smaller alien species called the Vortaki. Those colonies were gone. Nothing was left. The Xifax did not negotiate. They did not make peace. They came, they fought, and they took control. Jake turned to Kelly. Get Dr. Lisa Chun on a secure line. Now, tell her it is urgent. 5 minutes later, Dr. Lisa Chun appeared on the video screen. She was the best diplomat humanity had. She spoke many alien languages. She had made peace with species that other humans thought were impossible to deal with. Her face on the screen was serious. She already knew about the attack. Jake, I've been trying to reach the colony for the last hour, Lisa said. The Xifax have a command ship in orbit. They are broadcasting a message saying that the colony will be enslaved or destroyed. They are giving the colonists 1 hour to surrender. Jake felt cold. Enslaved. That word meant these people would lose everything. Their freedom. Their lives. Maybe even their children. What do we know about Xifax military strength? Jake asked. Lisa shook her head. That is the problem, Jake. We do not know much. They come from the Xyrith star system. They control 3 star systems at least. Maybe more. Their ships are bigger than anything we have. Their weapons are advanced. But Jake, they have never fought humans before. They think we are weak. Why would they think that? Jake asked. Because Earth is not a harsh world like theirs. We have water, good soil, and weather that is not extreme. The Xifax come from a world with constant storms, extreme heat, and dangerous creatures. They call their world a death world. They think that humans are soft because we grew up on a soft planet. They see us as easy prey. They think we will surrender fast. Jake understood now. The Xifax looked at human weakness and did not see what made humans strong. They did not see that humans could be brave, even when they were afraid. They did not know that humans could fight for their families and their freedom. Not because they were stronger or tougher, but because they refused to accept defeat. Jake made a choice. Get me a direct communication line to the Xifax command ship. I want to talk to their leader. Lisa's eyes widened. Jake, that could be dangerous. Do it, Jake said. The screen flickered. Then a face appeared. It was not human. The Xifax commander had gray skin covered with hard scales. His eyes were yellow and cold. His mouth showed long teeth when he spoke. I am Commander Cash of the Xifax Dominion, the alien said. His voice was deep and rough. You are Jake Harrison, leader of Earth's military? I am, Jake said. His voice did not shake. What is your purpose attacking our colony? Cash laughed. It was a sound like rocks breaking. Our purpose is expansion. Your colony sits on a world we want. Your people will serve us or they will die. This is the way of the strong. We are strong. You are weak. That is the only truth that matters. You are wrong, Jake said. We are not weak. We are different from you. That is what you do not understand. Different? Cash smiled, showing all his teeth. Your colony has no real defenses. Your ships are small and slow. Your weapons are nothing compared to ours. Yes, you are different. You are weaker. Jake did not argue. There was no point. Cash would learn the truth in time. All humans would learn it. Humans could do things that stronger species could not. They could choose mercy when they had the power to destroy. They could work together for something bigger than themselves. They could face death and still stand up. This conversation is over, Cash said. He reached for something off-screen. Wait, Jake said. I am sending a shuttle to your ship. I want to come talk to you face to face. Give me 2 hours. Cash looked interested. You want to surrender? No, Jake said. I want to talk. Cash nodded slowly. Come then. But bring no weapons. Come alone. Or I will kill everyone on that colony right now. The screen went black. Jake turned to Lisa. Get me a fast shuttle and a small crew. We need to be ready to go in 10 minutes. Lisa was scared. Jake could see it on her face. Jake, this is crazy. You could be walking into a trap. Maybe, Jake said. But we need to understand them. We need to know what they want and how they think. And the colony buys time. If the Xifax are talking to me, they are not attacking. Jake walked through the station to prepare. The other officers watched him. They knew what this meant. This attack was not just about one colony anymore. This was the beginning of something bigger. The Xifax were testing humanity. They wanted to see if humans would fight or give up. Jake made a silent promise to himself. Humanity would not give up. Humanity would fight. Not because they were stronger or better equipped, but because they had something the Xifax did not understand. Humans had hope. Humans had the will to protect others. And that was stronger than any weapon. The shuttle launched 30 minutes later. Jake sat alone in the small ship as it moved toward the Xifax command vessel. The stars passed by the window. Behind him, Earth was far away. But Jake could feel every person on Earth with him. He could feel the families on Kepler 442b. He carried their hopes and their fears. To meet an enemy that did not believe humans could be strong. In that moment, Jake made another promise. The Xifax would learn what human strength really meant. Dr. Lisa Chun stood in the transport ship, looking out at the stars. She'd been traveling for 3 weeks now. Weeks now. Her mission was clear, but her burden was heavy. She needed to find allies. The Xifax could not be stopped by humans alone. Jake had told her before he went to meet Cash that one thing was true. The Xifax were strong, but there were other species that had suffered under their control. Species that would want to fight back. Lisa had to find them. Lisa had to convince them that humans were worth standing beside. The ship landed on Vortara, the homeworld of the Vortaki. Lisa had visited this world before. It was beautiful with tall purple trees and clear blue water. But when she walked down the landing ramp, she felt sadness. The Vortaki had lost 3 colonies to the Xifax. Many of their people were dead. The ones who lived were afraid. The Vortaki ambassador was named Zeal. He was tall with blue skin and kind eyes, but his eyes carried pain. He welcomed Lisa in his home, a building made of living trees that grew around stone walls. Dr. Chun, we have heard that you come to speak about the Xifax, Zeal said. His voice was soft and gentle. But what can anyone do? They are too strong. My people are merchants. We are not warriors. We build things, we trade, we create beauty. We do not fight wars. Lisa sat down across from him. You are right that the Xifax are strong. But strength is not just about weapons and power. The Vortaki have something important. You have knowledge. You know how to work with different species. You understand trade and supply lines. If humans are to fight the Xifax, we need allies who understand how to move resources and organize cooperation. Zeal looked uncertain. Humans are different from us. You are from a soft world. The Xifax call your kind weak because you come from a planet where life is easy. Why would we trust humans to lead us into war? Lisa leaned forward. Her eyes were steady. Because humans do not fight for power or control. Humans fight to protect others. That is what makes us different. We are willing to sacrifice everything for people we love, even if they are not human. We are willing to stand beside other species, not as rulers, but as partners. It took 2 more days of talking, but Zeal agreed to send Vortaki ships to meet with the growing human fleet. Lisa moved on to the next world. The Krell lived on a metal world called Krell Prime. Their city was underground in massive caves. They were shorter than humans, but incredibly smart. Their leader was a Krell named Turin. He was skeptical from the beginning. The Xifax destroyed our engineering center, Turin said. His voice buzzed like insects. 3,000 of our best engineers died in that attack. You think humans can help us get revenge? Humans have no real technology. You are centuries behind even the Vortaki. Lisa did not argue about technology. Instead, she said something else. You are right that humans do not have the best technology. But we have something else. We have adaptability. We solve problems in new ways. We find answers when we are trapped with no good choices. The Xifax expect to win through power. They do not expect to lose. That is their weakness. They think like warriors, not like engineers who must adapt and change. Terran listened carefully. Lisa continued. The Krell are engineers. You understand how things work and how to fix them. If you work with humans, we can create strategies that the Xifax will not expect. We can do things that seem impossible because we think differently. By the end of her visit, Taran promised to send Krell engineers to work with the human fleet. They would design new weapons and ships together. The Astari were different from the Vortaki and Krell. They were fierce warriors. Their world, Astara, was covered with mountains and dark forests. The Astari had been warriors for millions of years. Their leader was a woman named Kira. She had a scar across her face from a Xifax blade. Her homeworld had been destroyed. The Astari were refugees now, living on ships and small planets. Kira listened to Lisa's words. Then she said something harsh. I do not care about diplomacy. I care about killing every Xifax alive. If humans want to help with that, I will accept them. But do not talk to me about peace or trade or anything except how to destroy our enemies. Lisa understood Kira's anger. The loss was too great. But she also knew that anger alone could not win a war. Still, Lisa did not argue. She simply said, Then come with us. Fight alongside humans. I promise you, we will give everything to help you win back your world. Kira agreed. The Astari would fight. While Lisa was building the alliance, Jake was doing something different. He was on a military base training human soldiers. He had recruited volunteers from every human colony and from Earth itself. They came from all kinds of jobs and lives. Some were soldiers already. Many were farmers, teachers, engineers, and ordinary people. But all of them had one thing in common. They wanted to protect their families and their homes. Jake did not train them the way traditional military commanders trained soldiers. He did not teach them to conquer or to dominate. Instead, he taught them to protect. He taught them to fight as a team where every person mattered. He taught them that victory was not about how many enemies you killed, but about saving the people you loved. He said to them in training, "The Xifax think we are weak because we come from a soft world. They think we will break easy. But they are wrong. We fight harder because we are fighting to protect others. We fight smarter because we have to. We fight together because we are not alone." The soldiers who trained under Jake became different from the soldiers who trained under other commanders. They were strong but also kind. They were fierce but also careful. They understood that true strength was not about being the toughest, but about protecting what was important. When Lisa returned from her travels, she met with Jake. She brought news of the Alliance. Pataki ships, Krell engineers, and Astari warriors would stand with humanity. But many of the aliens still doubted. They still thought humans were weak. They still wondered if humans could really help. Jake listened to everything Lisa told him. Then he smiled. "Good, let them doubt. When the time comes to fight, they will see what humans are really made of. They will learn that the softest worlds create the strongest warriors, not because of what those worlds gave us, but because of what they taught us to protect." Lisa and Jake knew the real battle was just beginning. But now they had allies. Now they had hope. And now they had something the Xifax did not expect. They had unity born from choice, not from fear. They had partnership built on trust, not on strength alone. The war room was quiet. Jake Harrison and Dr. Lisa Chun stood looking at a map of space. Red dots showed Xifax positions. Blue dots showed their own forces. The Alliance fleet was strong, but still smaller than what the Xifax could bring to a real fight. This was not about winning a direct battle. This was about sending a message. Lisa turned to Jake. "I have the statement ready. But Jake, are you sure about this? Once we send this message, there is no going back. The Xifax will come at us with everything they have." Jake nodded slowly. "That is why we have to send it now. Waiting will only make us weaker. We have to tell them what we want while we still have momentum." Lisa pulled up the message on the screen. It was simple and clear. It said that the Xifax Dominion must stop all conquest. They must free all enslaved species. They must leave other worlds alone and return to their own territory. If they did not do these things, they would face complete destruction. The message was signed by Jake Harrison for all of humanity, with support from the Vortaki, Krell, and Astari. "Send it," Jake said. The message went out across the communication channels. It reached the Xifax command center in minutes. For a long time, there was silence. Then the reply came. The Xifax were laughing. Their commander, a Xifax general named Morg, who was higher in command than Cash, sent a response. In the message, Morg said that humans were fools. He said that the Xifax would crush them easily. He said that threatening the Xifax was like an insect threatening a giant. He said the Xifax would now make it their mission to destroy every human in every star system. When Jake heard this, he did not look afraid. Instead, he looked calm. Lisa saw this and asked, "What are you thinking?" Jake said, "I am thinking that they still do not understand. They still believe strength is only about weapons and numbers. But strength is also about will. It is about knowing who you are and what you will fight for. The Xifax have never faced that kind of strength." Jake gathered the commanders of the United Fleet. There were humans, Vortaki, Krell, and Astari. Some of them looked worried. Some looked angry. All of them looked ready. Jake stood in front of them. He said, "I know we are smaller. I know they have more ships and more weapons. But I want to tell you something. For many years, humans have hidden what we could really do. We did not want to be conquerors. We did not want to be rulers of other species. We wanted to be peaceful. But there is a line you do not cross with humans. You do not destroy our families. You do not enslave innocent people. You do not take away freedom. When humans have a reason to fight, we fight with everything we have." He pointed to the map. "We are going to attack a Xifax military station at Kepler 15. It is one of their important outposts. We will hit it hard, and we will show them that we are not an insect. We are humans, and humans do not give up." The Krell commander Terran spoke up. "This is a direct attack. This is the start of a real war." Jake said, "Yes, it is the start. And it starts with us choosing to fight for something bigger than ourselves." The fleet moved. Human ships, Vortaki carriers, Krell fighter ships, and Astari battle cruisers moved together through space. They traveled for 2 days. Then they reached Kepler-15. The Xifax station was massive. It had 4 towers and weapons that covered every direction. But the Xifax did not expect to be attacked. They expected humans to hide and humans to be afraid. That was their mistake. Jake led the attack himself. He piloted the lead fighter. As his ship approached the station, he opened a channel to all the units. He said, "Remember what we fight for. Remember why we are here. We fight for families. We fight for the innocent. We fight so that no other species will ever fear the Xifax again. Now let us show them what we are made of." The human fighters moved fast and precise. The Krell ships used technology to break through the station defenses. The Astari warriors attacked with no fear. The Vortaki ships provided support and saved damaged vessels from crashing. The battle lasted 3 hours. Xifax fighters came out to defend the station. They were bigger and stronger, but they fought one at a time, like individual warriors. The Allied fleet fought as one organism. When one ship needed help, 5 others came to protect it. When an opening appeared, they moved together to take it. Jake destroyed 3 Xifax fighters himself. He could see the shock in how the Xifax fought. They had never seen an opponent that would throw everything into a battle, that would fight so hard when they were smaller and weaker. They had never seen allies that worked together so perfectly that it seemed like one mind controlling many ships. By the end, the Xifax station was burning. Half of it was destroyed. The remaining Xifax fighters ran. They fled back to their main fleet. When the battle was over, Jake's voice came through the communication channel. "All units, fall back to rally point 3. We have sent our message. We have shown them that humans are not weak. We have shown them that we can hurt them. Now let us go home." The ships turned and headed back to safety. They had lost some ships. Many soldiers were wounded or dead. But they had won the battle. More importantly, they had sent a message. Within hours, the Xifax responded. This time they did not laugh. Their message was serious. They said that the Dominion would prepare a full military response. They said they would send their greatest commanders and their largest fleets. They said that the attack would come in 1 week. But the Xifax also said something else. They were treating humanity as a real threat now. They were not calling humans insects or weak. For the first time, the Xifax were afraid. Jake received the message and showed it to Lisa. She read it and looked up at him. "They are coming with everything," she said. Jake nodded. "Good. That means they understand now. That means they know we are not backing down. That means the real war is about to begin. The next phase would be the hardest. The Xifax would come with an army that nobody had ever seen before. But now the galaxy was watching. Other species saw that the Xifax could bleed. They saw that humans would fight. And they began to believe that victory was possible. The Xifax fleet came with 200 ships. They came with weapons that could destroy planets. They came with an army of soldiers that had conquered 3 galaxies. The human Allied fleet had 60 ships. The numbers looked impossible. Jake stood on the command deck of the main human battle cruiser. His eyes were steady as he watched the enemy ships appear on the radar. One of his officers, a man named Ryan, said to him, "Sir, they have us outnumbered more than 3-1, and their weapons are more powerful." Jake said, "Then we do not fight them the way they expect us to fight. Order all ships to spread out. We do not hold one line. We move fast and we hit them where they are weak." The battle began at dawn on Kepler Station, the neutral zone between human space and Xifax space. It was the largest space battle anyone had seen in 1,000 years. The Xifax ships moved in a straight line, using their size and power to push forward. They expected the Allied ships to run or break. Instead, the human ships moved in waves. They came in fast, hit targets, and moved away. The Vortaki ships protected the smaller human fighters. The Krell ships used technology to disable enemy weapons without destroying the whole ship. The Astari warriors attacked with fearless speed. The battle went on for hours. The Xifax began to realize they were in trouble. They had more ships, but the Allied fleet was moving faster and smarter. Every time a Xifax ship came close to an Allied ship, it found 3 allies already there to defend it. But the Xifax were still powerful. They destroyed ships. They killed soldiers. The Alliance was losing fighters. Some ships exploded. Some ships had to pull back with heavy damage. Dr. Lisa-chan was not in the battle. She was on a safe station where she could talk to the other alien commanders. She was keeping the Alliance together. But as the battle went on, she could hear fear in the voices of the Vortaki and Krell commanders. They were losing too many ships. They were losing too many soldiers. The Vortaki commander said, "Dr. Chan, we cannot hold much longer. We must retreat. If we do not leave now, the Xifax will destroy all of us." Lisa said, "We cannot retreat. If we run now, the Xifax will chase us forever. We must stand and fight." But the commander said, "You are human. Humans have the capability to leave this system and escape. But the Vortaki have nowhere to go. If we are destroyed, my people are finished forever. I must take my ships and go." Lisa heard the fear in his voice. She understood it. She said, "Then let me ask you something. If you leave now and survive, where will you go? The Xifax will own this space. They will find you again. They will find your people again. But if we stay and fight now, maybe we can stop them. Maybe we can create a future where your people are safe. I cannot ask you to stay, but I am asking you to believe that humans will not let you down." There was silence. Then the Vortaki commander said, "My ships will stay." The battle was reaching a turning point. The Xifax General Morg sent his most powerful ships into the center of the fight. They were massive ships with weapons the size of buildings. If those ships reached the heart of the Allied fleet, they would destroy everything. Jake saw what was happening. He saw the danger. He made a decision that would change everything. He said to Ryan, "Take our main battle cruiser and head straight at those 3 Xifax capital ships. Full speed." Ryan looked shocked. "Sir, that is suicide. We cannot win against those ships." Jake said, "I know. But we do not have to win. We just have to slow them down long enough for the Krell ships to move into position. In 60 seconds, the Krell will have their special weapon ready. If those Xifax ships get past us, the Krell will not have time to use it. So we go at them. And we buy time with whatever it costs." Ryan understood what Jake was saying. Jake was saying the human ship would probably be destroyed. The people on this ship would probably die. But they would save the fleet. Ryan took a breath. He nodded. "All hands, prepare for ramming speed. We are going in." The human battle cruiser moved fast toward the 3 Xifax capital ships. The Xifax fired their weapons. The human ship was hit. Explosions shook the deck. Fire broke out in the corridors. But the ship did not stop. It moved faster. Jake stood on the deck even as the ground shook. His face was calm. He said to his soldiers, "We are buying time for the people we love. We are saving our allies. We are humans. We do what must be done." The human ship crashed into one of the Xifax ships. Both ships were damaged badly, but the Xifax was slowed down. The other two Xifax capital ships had to slow down to help their damaged ally. In that moment, the Krell activated their weapon. It was not a weapon that killed. It was a weapon that disabled. It created a pulse of energy that shut down the systems of every ship it touched. The two undamaged Xifax capital ships went dark. Their engines stopped. Their weapons went silent. The battle turned. The Xifax ships that had no support began to fall. More allied ships moved in and attacked. The Xifax realized they were going to lose this battle, but something more important happened. Across the Xifax Empire, other species that had been enslaved saw what happened. They saw that the Xifax could be beaten. They saw that humans and their allies had stood against the greatest power in the galaxy and won. They rose up everywhere. The Vortaki on Xifax-controlled planets started fighting back. The Krell sabotaged Xifax ships. The Astari attacked Xifax bases. The Xifax Empire was burning from inside. General Morg sat in his command center watching his empire fall apart. He had 10,000 ships. He had conquered millions of worlds. But now everywhere he looked, his people were losing. His soldiers were dying. His control was breaking. Morg realized something terrible. He could destroy the humans and their allies, but it would cost him everything. It would cost him his ships, his soldiers, his power. It would cost him his empire. He understood now what Jake had understood from the beginning. Sometimes there is a cost too high to pay, even for victory. Morg sent a message to Jake. The message said, "We need to talk." Jake was still alive. His ship was damaged and sinking, but Ryan had gotten him and the remaining crew off the ship in escape pods. Human rescue ships picked him up. When Jake received Morg's message, he smiled. He said to Lisa, "Tell Morg that I will meet him. Tell him that he has made a wise choice." The battle had been won. The real negotiations were about to begin. The signing ceremony took place on a neutral station, protected by both human and Xifax forces. Jake Harrison sat across a table from General Morg. Between them was a document that would change the galaxy forever. The treaty was not what the Xifax wanted, but Morg understood that he had no choice. His empire was breaking apart. The rebellion was spreading. Every enslaved species was fighting back. The cost of continuing the war had become impossible. The treaty said three things. First, the Xifax Dominion would stop all conquest and expansion. Second, they would free all enslaved species and return them to their homeworlds. Third, they would open their borders to peaceful trade and allow other species into their territory as equals, not as conquered people. Morg read the treaty one more time. Then he placed his mark on it. Jake did the same. When it was finished, Morg looked at Jake. The Xifax general's face showed respect now. "You have done something impossible," Morg said. "You were weaker than us in every way that my people understand strength. You had fewer ships. You had weaker weapons. You had a smaller population. But you defeated us anyway." Jake said, "We defeated you because we fought for something bigger than victory. We fought to protect others. We fought to save people we loved. The Xifax fought to win. Humans fought to save. That is the difference." Morg nodded slowly. "My people will take time to understand this. For thousands of years, we have believed that strength is everything. You have taught us that there are other kinds of strength." The news spread across the galaxy in hours. The great Xifax Dominion had surrendered. They had been forced to surrender by an alliance of smaller species led by humans. Species that had never been heard of before. Species from a soft world that the Xifax had thought was weak. Jake returned to Earth 1 month later. He landed in a city called New York, where humanity's leaders had gathered. Thousands of people came to see him. They lined the streets. They stood on buildings. They cried, and they cheered. Jake walked through the crowds, and he felt something change inside him. Humans were different now. They did not see themselves as the weak species anymore. They saw themselves as the protectors. They had faced the greatest power in the galaxy, and they had not just survived. They had won. The Earth Council, the leaders of all human governments, held a grand celebration. They gave Jake medals and honors. But Jake said something to them that made them quiet. "These honors should not be for me," Jake said. "They should be for every human who believed that fighting for others was more important than winning for ourselves. They should be for the soldiers who gave their lives so that alien children could be free. They should be for the families who lost everything so that other families would not have to suffer." Across the galaxy, something new was happening. The Astari were rebuilding their homeworld. The Vortaki were returning to their colonies. The Krell were creating new technologies to help all species. And everywhere, the message was spreading among alien races. The message was simple. Humans were not weak. Humans were not soft. Humans were the protectors. When humans decided to fight, they fought with courage that no amount of power could stop. When humans chose to lead, they led with wisdom that no amount of technology could match. Dr. Lisa Chan was chosen to lead something new. The Galactic Council was born. It was made up of representatives from all the free species. Its purpose was clear: to protect smaller species from being conquered or enslaved. To make sure that what happened to so many peoples under the Xifax would never happen again. Lisa sat in the council chambers, and she looked at the different species gathered there. Humans, Vortaki, Krell, Astari, and dozens of others. All of them equal. All of them respected. She said to them, "We have learned something from our battle against the Xifax. We have learned that no enemy is too strong if we stand together. We have learned that morality is stronger than weapons. We have learned that fighting to protect others creates bonds that nothing can break." One of the alien leaders asked her, "Dr. Chan, what do you think made humans special in this war? What gave them the strength to do what they did?" Lisa thought about this for a long moment. Then she answered, "Humans are special because they believe that other people matter. We believe that the pain of others is as important as our own pain. We believe that it is better to die protecting someone you love than to live in a world where love means nothing. That is what made us strong. Not our weapons or our ships or our technology. Our belief that some things are worth any cost." 5 years passed. The galaxy changed. The Xifax stayed quiet in their own territory. The freed species rebuilt their civilizations. Humans established colonies throughout space. They became teachers and protectors. They helped species that were struggling. They fought against injustice wherever they found it. Jake Harrison became the commander of the Galactic Defense Force. His job was to make sure that no species would ever try to conquer others again. He trained soldiers from many different species, but all of them learned the human way of fighting. They learned to fight not to dominate, but to protect. They learned that true strength comes from having something worth dying for. On Earth, children grew up hearing the story of how humanity had faced the greatest power in the galaxy and had not backed down. The story became legend. It became truth. It became the thing that made humans proud to be human. One night, Jake stood on Earth, looking up at the stars. Lisa stood beside him. "Do you think we changed the galaxy?" Lisa asked. Jake said, "We did not change the galaxy. We changed ourselves. We showed the galaxy what humans could be when we had a reason to fight." when we fought not for power, but for each other. What comes next? Lisa asked. Jake smiled. What comes next is we keep being that. We keep protecting others. We keep believing that morality matters. We keep showing every species in the galaxy that humans are worth standing beside. The stars shone above them. Across the galaxy, in 1,000 worlds, humans were building, protecting, and standing with other species as equals and partners. The Xifax Dominion watched from their territory, remembering the war they could not win against the species from the soft world Dot and everywhere in the galaxy. From the smallest planet to the largest space station, the message had spread and would never be forgotten. Never underestimate humans. When they fight, they do not fight for power or glory. They fight for something bigger than themselves. And that makes them stronger than empires. That makes them heroes. That makes them human.